because it's almost like they made this really awesome 3-act structure without really knowing where they wanted to end up. Okay, this movie got way overhyped for me, and I did not deliver. There are elements of this that are above and beyond. Specifically, the first act is above and beyond. So good. It's really neat when a movie can make you care about characters when they're just doing their day-to-day activities, and then you couple that with a really intense moment in what would be history. It's really cool. And then you multiply that by different perspectives across different parts of the process of understanding what this problem's gonna be, which is the army setting out in Alaska, the DC setting, right? And then eventually the presidential focus. But I think there's just a masterful first act here. And then the second act, being a repeat of that, is really masterful, because that's what makes the screenplay really pop. It's like so cool that you get this other perspective, but you learn more about the character and you get more of what's going on. But by the time you reach the third act, the pacing just plummets. And not that the Secretary of Defense that's in the Pentagon isn't interesting, and not that the president isn't interesting, but by that point, it's just starting to lose steam, and it doesn't work in the third iteration as well as it did in the first and second. And you already lost a bit by doing it again in the second. So it was almost like you could have pivoted there to kind of help us through, or at least shorten the third act to kind of help us through. But then what really leaves you hanging is the ending, because it's almost like they made this really awesome 3-act structure without really knowing where they wanted to end up. And, you know, maybe it's smart because we're giving you this like, hey, what are we talking about when we talk about nuclear deterrent? And do we actually know if we can stop one once it fires? And like, there's all these really important questions about our military defense and what we put money towards. And like, I get it. There's a lot there. And the fact that a president has to make a decision on which city to destroy next against their adversary, like, that's huge. But when it's played out in execution in this film, you're just left completely flabbergasted and wondering what? It's almost like we're missing another 5 to 10 minutes of a film. I personally thought that they were going to cut to Chicago getting destroyed. I thought we were going to see it from the perspective of his daughter and just watching her die. And I think that might have been accepted by more people as a like solid ending versus just leaving it on a question. And I get that that's an intriguing premise for an ending, to just be like, hey, we're going to give you these 3 perspectives from these 3 separate pieces of the same event, but it just doesn't go anywhere. And questions are great, and, you know, thought-provoking concepts are great, but when you place that into a, you know, what is it, a 2-hour film, maybe give us a little bit more towards the end to kind of help it, or maybe shorten the third act so that we don't feel that drop in pacing, because such a nail-biting entry should continue, right? Like, if you look back at something like Weapons from this year, every perspective you get gets you deeper and deeper into the story. And while this does the same thing, it doesn't accomplish it in the same way Weapons did. Weapons continued its pace and its energy and its suspense all the way through. And this movie does not do that. It starts really strong and it gives you that really intriguing premise, and then it just slowly loses steam over that whole way through. And maybe it's a sense of despair, maybe it's a sense of hopelessness, but I don't see that being the case. I feel like this is just missing an ending, is really what it comes down to. And not that I'm mad about that, I just was kind of left like, well, this didn't really feel like it was worth the time. So anyway, what'd you guys think? Do you think I'm totally off base here? Do you think that the movie is like a masterpiece? Because I definitely do not. I think it's really good, but I wouldn't put it on a Best Picture list this year. Like, it's nowhere near a Sinners or a Weapons or a One Battle After Another. It's just not at that quality for me. And we'll see as time goes on whether or not we want to give it more awards. But the screenplay is good. It just doesn't get me that far, I guess. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.